In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to calculate the total surface area of a rectangular prism. So this shape here is what we call a rectangular prism. It is a 3D shape, and the 2D shape of what this once was is obviously a rectangle. So now that it's 3D, we call this a rectangular prism. So again, the very first thing we're going to do is write down our formula. So the total surface area of a rectangular prism is 2 length times width plus width times height plus length times height. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and label each 3 of these measurements. So here we have our height, 10 is our height because it's going down. Here we have our length because it's going across, and then here we have our width. Okay, so we've got length, width, and height, and I've labelled those in my diagram. So now I can simply go ahead and substitute these numbers into my formula. Now remember, the total surface area is calculating the area of each separate external face and then adding your answers all together. Now this formula that you see here, it may not make any sense to you, but what this actually is doing all of that tedious individual area of each face and then adding them all together work for you. And I'll show you how it works by doing every single face separately and simply using the formula. So TSA equals 2 bracket, and then we've got length times width. So our length is 8 and our width is 6. Plus our width times our height. Remembering when there are no gaps between things, there's an imaginary time sign. So our width is 6 and our height is 10. Plus the length times the height. So the length is 8 and the height is 10. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and calculate these multiplications. So I'll have 2. Now you don't have to do this. You could actually put this in the calculator as you see it, but you need to be careful because if you were to put this into the calculator, you'd need to make sure that you had extra brackets around each of these multiplications so your calculator didn't confuse any of these numbers with these addition signs. So 8 times 6 is 48, plus 6 times 10 is 60, plus 8 times 10, which is 80. Okay, so now I'm going to enter that into my calculator exactly how I see it. 2 bracket 48 plus 60 plus 80, closed bracket, equals 376. Our units are in centimetres, and they are squared because it's area. Okay, so that's how we calculate the total surface area of a rectangular prism. Now I'm just going to quickly show you how we actually get the same answer if we do each face separately. So I'm going to use colours to show you which faces equal the same thing. Now here at the very, very front, this face is the exact same as this orange face back here. So this one is the same as this one. Now I'll do that as orange rectangle. So our height for this is 10 and the width for that is 6. So it's 6 by 10. Okay. Our second one, I think we'll make blue. We have this side face here, and we also have the blue side face on the other side. Okay, so we have the two outsides, here and here on the outside. So I'll do a blue square. Rectangle, sorry. So we have 8 centimeters along here, which is the length, and going downwards, which is the width, we have 10. So this one is an 8 by 10. Okay, we have an 8 by 10 rectangle. And then a lucky last, I think we'll do this one in maybe green. We have the top and we have the bottom. So this one over here. So the top and the very bottom. So we've got the very top face and the very bottom one. Okay. And those measurements are 6, which is the width, and 8, which is the length. So now all we need to do is multiply each of these squares by 2 because there are 2 lots of each of them. Front and back, top and bottom, and both the sides. So I would go times 2 for green, times 2 for blue, and times 2 for orange. So first, let's calculate the area of each. The area for this is 6 times 10, which equals 60. And then we need 2 of them. So 60 times 2 equals 120. For blue, the area is 8 times 10, which equals 80. And we need 2 blue ones because they make up both sides. There are 2 sides. So 80 times 2, which equals 160. And then for green, which makes our top and our bottom, we've got the area as 6 times 8. All right, so this is making the top and the bottom. Which equals 48. All right, now don't get confused because just like I did there, I went to jump a step, but if you take your time and you do this well, you wouldn't make a mistake if you wanted to do the full working out. So 6 times 8 equals 48, and then 48 times 2 equals 96. So now we can add all of these answers together and we get the exact same answer of 376 centimeters squared. And I'll even prove it to you by putting it in my calculator. 376. So now hopefully you can see that this formula actually does all of that hard, let's say, work for you.